Ladies and gentlemen, Lenny Ladner from Honewald, Tennessee. And let's talk about a natural disaster. On September 11th, 2001, a couple of buildings in New York City that neighbors of mine built and people that I grew up with were probably in, were knocked down by a couple of airplanes, or so they say. I don't buy the government's explanation on any of those events. But let's talk about a concept called the action is in the reaction. You create an event so horrible that the Congress is stampeded into passing new draconian legislation. So in other words, in 1964, a church was blown up in Birmingham, Alabama, 4 little girls were killed, and they rammed through something called the Civil Rights Act, which is 99% an increase in the size, the cost, extending the reach and power of government, and 1% civil rights. They tried to blow up the World Trade Center in 1993, and there was a bill ready to go. Here it is, called the Patriot Act. Didn't go. They blew up the Murrah building in Oklahoma City, and they got part of the Patriot Act passed by a very, very limp, very, very weak Republican Congress who was supposed to impeach Bill Clinton on treason. They got part of it passed. They didn't get the whole thing passed. Knocked down a couple of buildings, and all of a sudden a congressman from Milwaukee, his name's James Sensenbrenner, introduced this Patriot Act, which is nothing more than the greatest increase in the size, the cost, extended reach and power of government, and more control over your life and more destruction of the United States Bill of Rights than anything that's ever been seen before. Now, what I want you to do, and I'm going to have to look at some notes here, is to contact Representative James Sensenbrenner. I'll have an address at the end of this. And I want you to ask him a question. The question is, did you write that bill? Did you write that Patriot Act bill? Yes or no? And if you didn't, who did? And please enclose a self-addressed stamped envelope. We don't want we the people's tax money paying for the response. He ain't gonna answer it, I'll tell you that right now. But what's important is what these clowns are clever. What they did was they convinced the Republic craps. That's the opposite of the Democrat Party. Or you may say the Trotskyites versus the Leninists. They convinced them that this Patriot Act would sunset in 2011. One of the first votes taken by this Republican Congress was to extend the Patriot Act. Now, I want to talk about 9 congressmen in the state of Tennessee. Phil Rowe voted to extend. Finkelstein or Feinstein, whatever his name is in Chattanooga, Fincher, whatever, voted to extend. John Cutie Yo-Yo Duncan voted to extend. Diane Black, who's a Tea Party candidate supposedly, voted to extend. By the way, there's going to be an ethics investigation on her and her husband with this DNA scandal in Tennessee. Marsha Blackburn voted to extend. Fincher, another Tea Party candidate, voted to extend. I always mispronounce this guy's name, Dr. Desjardins, whatever his name is, from my district, 4th District of Tennessee. Call him Dr. Jelly for Brains, which is what he is, voted to extend. Now, I'm missing a Congress critter, but I will tell you, as much as I dislike him, we need to send a letter of thanks to Stevie Cohen in Memphis, voted against extending. Most of your Tea Party candidates, who all of them lied, voted to extend. So now I got the Patriot Act. And you could look up the extension vote on LouRockwell.com. He has an article about it. It's about 2-3 weeks old. And I want to talk about a guy. His name's Alan West. He's a Republican congressman out of South Florida. He voted to extend. Now, you're going to tell me these people don't understand the oath of office they took to the United States Bill of Rights? They ain't stupid, or are they? Or they didn't read the bill? If your congressman voted to extend the Patriot Act, ask him why. Send him a letter. Ask him why he wants more government. Oh, yeah. And Eric Holder, that's the Attorney General, made a remark during the debate. during the debate. I got too many notes, I'm sorry. Made a remark during the debate that if you people don't extend this, we will. I don't see the Republicans basically turning around and saying, Mr. Halder, you work for us, you're fired. Anyway, that's what I got to say about the Patriot Act. We need to get rid of it because what it does, it's going to be used against the dissenters who are opposed to the strategic planning partnership, opposed to the total merger of the United States, Mexico, and Canada, opposed to any more gun control. It's going to be used against us, and it could be used against Muhammad. Believe me, it's not. Other than that, I'm Lenny Ladner. Thanks for your time.